Hi guys, my name is Godwin Smart, and this audio tips is brought to you by Govik Sound, still on understanding the dynamics of live sound. Okay, so today I will be sharing something very important, something very profound, and that is power. I went to do a job somewhere, so I actually stumbled across this set of persons, right? This set of persons who actually brought equipment to set up in the event, right? So my job was to go there and do a different thing, right? But then I stumbled across this guy. So when they were setting up, something happened, and guess what happened? Three of their amplifiers actually blew off at the point, like different reactions, like not straight up. It blew up like, at different intervals. They'll plug this after using it, or something will just happen, the amp will trip off, right? So at the end of the day, they left that place having a broken amp of three pieces. That is, three amplifiers were totally shut down. Guess what happened? The generator they were given, that I was giving power supply, was supplying a very high voltage. And of course, some of these amps are very sensitive. Some of these amps are very fragile. Now, there's something I want you to always note in live sound. One thing that your sound cannot be compromised with is power. Power is the blood that runs through it. Power is its life. So, and this power or different voltage, different current, different frequency, and all of that. So for the sake of this video, I don't want to go into that. It's a different and long talk entirely. Now I want you to always first of all note something, and that is power. I mean, I'm talking about electricity. You have to be intentional about your power supply. So the first thing you have to do in that place is to make sure you check your power supply. Is it supplying the actual voltage you need? Now, what is the actual voltage that runs here in Nigeria? The maximum power supply that you should have here in Nigeria for domestic use or for a face is actually 240 volts at max. That is to say, whatever you're doing, that should be the maximum. In fact, if your appliances or if you have a voltage regulator or whatsoever that reaches 240, you should be very careful. But averagely, if you're having around 230 volts, then you are actually on the safe side. If you're having around 220, 230, then you're good. But anything that makes your currents to start beating towards 240, be careful. Be very careful. Now, guess what happened? Back to my story earlier on. So when I went there, I had to pick up something, and that does this. I always have this in my bag. I have it in the house, and I always have this, especially once I have to go for a setup somewhere and I have to do with power, that has to do with power supply, right? So this, I actually picked up this and I plugged it into the power line there, and guess what happened? This thing was giving me, in fact, if it's too high, if it's more than 240, it will be breaking, it will be showing you high voltage, right? It will be giving you high volt, so it will be tripping off at a point. And guess what this guy was reading? 270 something and 280 something. So 280 something volts, whereas your equipment is not supposed to, or a face in Nigeria right now, especially for domestic use, is not supposed to be the maximum you should get. If the maximum, in fact, you shouldn't be talking about that. The maximum you should get is 240, and already on this place you are getting 280 something. So why won't you have a destruction? So that was what happened. So had to tell them, shut down. In fact, the mixer got blown off at a point. That was how chaotic, how terrible that situation was, because of what they lacked this. So next time, as a live sound engineer, as a DJ, as a music producer that has to do with a power supply, especially with this gadget, please make sure you pick up what you call either a power sequencer. A power sequencer is something like this. Yeah, this is a power sequencer. So it reads your voltage, and please note again, maximum volt you should get on these devices is 240 here in Nigeria, and the average you should turn on your equipment to run with is 230 or 220 to 230. that is good. Anything less than one something, then your power supply is very low. So 220 to 230 is your average. You're good at this point. But anything above that, then you're driving on a danger zone. So please note that. So next time when you're going out for an event or whatsoever, this doesn't cost up to, I think when I got this then was around 5k or thereabout. Yeah, I think this should be around 5k or thereabout. So get something like this, and then once you get into any event place or whatsoever, before you turn on your equipment, please check the voltage. Be sure what the voltage is supplying, whether it be NEPA supply, be it generator, power plant, or whatsoever. Okay, so this is the tips I have to share with you all today. Once again, my name remains Godwin Smart, and this training is brought to you by Govik Sound. Thank you and peace out. See you in the next video, guys.